You're listening to the Natalie Parker Studio podcast, episode number 1. In today's episode, I'm sharing with you why you need a vision for your art business. This is one of the absolute best keys that I can give you to help you build a purposeful and fulfilling creative business. So let's dive right in. Welcome to the Natalie Parker Studio podcast, the podcast for women artists who are ready to pursue their creative dreams so that they can thrive both in life and in business. I'm your host, Natalie Parker, artist and mentor to women creatives around the globe. In this podcast, I'll share with you the strategies, principles, and mindset that you need to build a purposeful and fulfilling creative business. If you're ready to be inspired, encouraged, and equipped to build the art business of your dreams, then you're absolutely in the right place. Let's dive into today's episode. Hey there, artist, and welcome to today's episode. I absolutely love to talk about vision. Having a clear vision for my business has supported me over the last decade as I've transitioned from being a secondary school art teacher to now running my own successful six-figure art business. But as I've been working with many artists over the years, I've discovered that not all artists have a vision for their creative practice and for their business. And what happens is it means that when they come into challenges, when it means that opportunities get given to them, they don't either know how to push through or they don't know which way to go. Now, I have always been very clear about what I wanted out of life and the vision that I had for my future. So I've always been that arty chick who wanted to be an artist from the day dot. Since I was 3-year-old, I could fondly remember myself painting at my easel in kindy. And I pretty much pursued that right through secondary school. I went on to do my BFA, I did a teaching degree, and now I work full-time as an artist. However, my driving vision behind what I wanted to do was that I wanted to thrive as an artist. Now, what I mean by thriving is, yes, absolutely financially, but also thriving in the fulfillment that I get out of my work, having control of my days, being able to spend time with my family when I wanted, and to be able to work on creative projects that I absolutely love. But beyond that, what I wanted to do was I wanted to thrive as an artist to prove that it is absolutely possible. And then I wanted to go back and help my fellow creatives like you to build your own thriving businesses as well. Because I have worked with many women over the years, so much more talented than me, who absolutely loved art, wanted to pursue a creative career, yet they lacked the vision, they lacked the belief in themselves to go after and pursue that. So today we're going to unpack what it means to have a vision. And I'm going to show you the benefits of the vision, because this is what is going to be an absolute game changer for you to ensure that you keep pursuing that creative dream of yours. Now, there are a few reasons why I believe artists don't allow themselves to have a vision or haven't even thought about it. And often it is simply because they don't believe it's possible to thrive. Hence my huge desire to prove that it is possible, because I know that the more artists that go out, build successful businesses, build beautiful artwork, have shows, sell their work, and celebrate their success, the more that we inspire those other creatives around us. Sometimes artists as well, we may have been conditioned to think that art is great as a hobby, and I've had a lot of that put on me when I was younger. Even now, people still look at my creative practice, despite how successful it's becoming, as a hobby. Now, if we carry that mindset, what it does is it kind of limits us. So it means that we're not going to dream big, we're not going to be outrageous. We think of, building a creative practice as something that is impractical and not sustainable for our family. However, it absolutely is possible now to be in control of your own career. We no longer have the doorkeepers, the gatekeepers, or the gallery people saying when we can and can't show our work. We get to manage it. There are so many different ways you can make income streams and thrive as an artist. Now, what really saddens me is when artists don't have a vision, is they sort of downplay their talents and they don't pursue their creative dreams. Now, that not only costs them, it also costs their family, and it also costs the people around you who are supposed to be impacted by your work. So my vision is not selfish. It's not about me. In fact, it's about you. It's about me helping you prosper and be successful in your own creative path. And that is absolutely what has driven me. So when I have students come into my Art Business A to Z program, the first thing that I focus on with them is for them to get very clear about their vision right from the start. Okay, for without a clear vision, they don't know which way to go, they don't know what opportunities to take, and they don't have that driving force behind them to push them when things get challenging in business. And if you have been in business, if you've been trying to sell your work, pursuing your creative dream for longer than 5 minutes, you will know that challenges do arise. So as a result of this, if I don't get my students to get clear on their vision, they will simply dabble in their artwork, they won't take it seriously, and they won't reach their goals. So in today's episode, I want to unpack for you, what do we even mean by a vision? What is the concept of a vision? And then we're going to look at the benefits of having a vision and how it can support you in your practice. So first of all, let's get clear about what a vision is. So I want you to think about this concept. Everything that exists now that is physically around you once existed as a thought. And you can take that as far as you want, or you can bring it back to you right now and have a look at those physical things in your hand. So if you're listening to me right now, on your phone, you've got your mobile phone that is right there in your hand. Now that was an idea that originated from, if you've got an iPhone, all right, you know Steve Jobs, he had this amazing idea of an iPhone, he presented it, he had the concept, he got the resources, he built it, and now we have this amazing device that we can use to connect with people around the world. Or you could even look at the concept of a chair. Where did a chair come from? How was that built? Did someone go and look at the tree, see the wood, start to cut the wood out of, the tree, put that concept together and build that physical, tangible thing? Everything. Or as artists, we are picture people, right? So we often have a picture in our mind of what we want to create before we go to the canvas. And then we start to use our skills, our talents, to apply that, to then bring that picture that was once a thought, a concept in our mind, into our physical reality. So that is what a vision is. A vision is an idea of a preferable picture, okay, or a preferable future. So when we're thinking about vision from an visual artist perspective, I want you to think about your vision as being purpose in pictures. What is the end goal? What do you see? So for me, as my vision, I saw myself having a successful business, which meant for me creating lots of work, having my work in galleries. I saw myself having speaking engagements, being on a stage, speaking to other creative women, helping them build their businesses. I saw my family around me. I see myself writing books. There are so many physical pictures that I see in my mind that become clearer as I move forward in my vision in my life. So I want you to start to ask yourself those kinds of questions. Now, when we're thinking about vision, here are some benefits of why having a vision is really important for your creative practice. The first one is that it gives you a sense of purpose, also known as your why. Now, if you are just going into building a creative business purely from a financial perspective, all right, to make a lot of money, that will last you only so long. You need to be personally fulfilled in the work that you're doing and have a higher calling beyond just making money. So my purpose has always been about getting it to a level so that I can give you the inspiration to know it's possible, and I get my fulfillment out of going back and helping my students build their own businesses. So I've built my bridge from A to B. All right, now I've come back across the bridge and I'm going and helping my students build their bridges, which is their business, so that they can get from point A to point B in their own lives. And that is why in my vision, I have started to implement things in my business. So I have my Confident Brush painting membership, which is absolutely amazing. This is where I have artists come in who are wanting to learn painting techniques. They're wanting to find their style. They learn how to confidently call themselves artists. Many of them have gone on to now start selling their work. They're building websites. Some have come through and done the art business program with me, which I also run, which teaches my artists how to set up, how to launch, and how to grow their art business. So that is my way of giving back. That is my higher calling and my why. Now, having that vision, that is what's going to drive me beyond just the everyday. If I didn't have that, it would just be purely selfish and just about me, and there's no real joy and satisfaction. When we give to others, when we help other lives, enrich other people and have impact, that is what makes us feel like we are alive and giving. So when I have that purpose, when I'm having certain days, I can go and look inside the Confident Brush membership. I see all the artists creating beautiful works. I see them sharing. I see them working through challenges. I can go and read testimonies from other artists other collectors who have brought work from me. They show me photos of how it looks in their home, how it's impacted them, how it's healed them. I've had people who have got commission work from me who have gone through miscarriages, who have lost family members, who have been through infertility. There are so many different things that your art has an impact on other people. So having that purpose, having that why is a fantastic way to live. The second reason that having a vision is going to be really beneficial to your business is that this will guide which direction to go. So what happens when you start to get into art and building a business is there are so many opportunities ahead for you. So you can be doing your originals, you can be creating prints, you might get into art licensing, you might want to have your own products created. So you might want to do things like bags, tea towels, cups. You may want to get into running retreats, workshops, running a studio in your home, book licensing, so many wonderful opportunities. Now, if you don't know what your end goal is, you can kind of go on a tangent and be doing things that aren't in line with your vision and are not going to fulfill you. So having a vision shows you which way to go, and it also helps you make decisions. Now, as an example, I had an opportunity come to me where I was asked to be a teacher amongst a collective teachers. It was to build an online course. It was a book, a journal program, and I was to film a lesson, and it was going to be put in this journal, which went out to thousands of people. This is a program that had been running for about 10 years. Now, on the surface, it was absolutely a good opportunity. And so I don't like to look at opportunities like really, really bad or really, really good. I look at them as good and right. So yes, it was a good opportunity financially for sure. Was it going to connect me to more people? Yes. Was it going to build my authority as an artist and art teacher? Absolutely. But when I looked into it, it was going to cost me a lot of time at that particular season. Now, I was in a season of building my own membership for my students as well as building my art business course. Had I chosen to invest my time in this particular program, it would have taken me away from my students and what I was personally focusing on. As well as that, it probably wasn't really my genre of art or the ideal clients that I wanted to be connected to. And it was also going to require me to sell that particular product to my existing database, to my email list. Now, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to confuse my students, my email subscribers who had signed up to learn from me to then go and send them to learn from somewhere else. It was going to completely confuse them. So I made a very easy decision to turn down that opportunity, even though the lady was a little bit confused as to why I would turn down such a great opportunity. But I knew for me that it was not the right thing for me. Had I not had that vision, I probably would have stumbled into that and gone slightly off on a tangent. Okay, another reason that having a vision is really important for your creative business is that it's going to motivate you to keep you going. I like to think of your vision as your burning fire that is inside you that gets you up in the morning when things get challenging, okay? Because like I said before, you are not always going to feel motivated when it comes to creating and building your business. Now, as creatives, when it's good, right? When we're feeling that creative vibe, we can go into our studio, we can pump out the work, we absolutely love it. But there are days when it just simply is not. Now, if you are a hobby artist, if you don't want to build a creative business from it, you don't want to make any money, you can take days off, you can not push through in that particular season. However, if you are wanting to be an art business owner and run your own art business, you can't afford to let your emotions get in the way. You need to have something that is going to prompt you to get up, to get into your studio, to push through and learn that painting technique that you need, to follow up on those sales, to post your work on Instagram, to finish off that commission, all these certain things that we need to do to build a profitable and sustainable art business. When you have your vision, when you have your why, that is what motivates you, especially if you're going from working as an employee for someone else, where I was working as a teacher for 10 years, working for someone else, steady paycheck pretty much comes in regardless of how much effort you put in. When you're working for yourself and running your own business, you are 100% responsible for your success. So it's a huge shift. But when you have that vision, that is what's going to keep you going. So I love the reason for that. And the fourth reason that having a vision is really great for your creative business is that it keeps you fluid and mobile. Now, vision will take some time to develop, okay? And it often requires a lot of time. Now, I am absolutely not an overnight success. I built my creative practice, my business, to a certain level of art sales on the side while I was teaching secondary school art for 10 years. Once I got it to a certain level, I then decided to leave my teaching career. We moved to Melbourne, and for the last 3 years, I've been a full-time artist and now got my business up to the 6-figure mark. Okay, so that is a 13-year span. So that is a long time. And you know what? I only just feel like I've started. I have so much more to go, and that is what I love about vision, is that it's forever unsettling you. And that's in a good way, because we reach a certain level, a certain goal, a milestone, I guess you want to call it, in your business, and then something else opens up before you and you see the next thing and you keep going. The other thing is that vision will require change. Okay, so in 2019 and 2020, I was teaching art classes to adults. I ran weekend workshops from my home, and I also ran after-school workshops for children. Now, because of circumstances in the world, I was unable to have those people come into my home anymore. So I had to pivot my business very quickly and figure out how to still keep in contact with my students and how to teach them. And that is when I transitioned to teaching online. I actually started by running a junior art membership for my students. That's where it started, because they had paid me for all these terms, and so I needed to go get their lessons. So I started with that. I ran that for a year. I started with an abstract florals course for adults, which has been my best course so far, which is continuing to be launched and available. And then I set up my Confident Brush membership for adults, and then now I also have the art business program, which documents everything that I've I've learned over the 10 plus years that I've been running a business. Now, had I not been fluid, mobile, adaptive, I would have stunted my growth and my business would have failed. So I had to make that, what we call a fork in the road decision. Was I going to go, oh no, students can't come into my studio, I can't teach, I'm just going to wait for things to change? Or am I going to be the change agent? Am I going to pivot and am I going to find a new way to fulfill my vision? So my vision of helping other artists thrive has never changed. Just the pathway or the strategy that I have used has moved with the times and seasons as I've gone forward. And I've absolutely loved that, because that gives you hope. Because if you think that circumstances in life, we know things change in the world, and they're going to continue to change, but no one can take away that vision, that purpose, that thing that you've been called to do. So that is some great encouragement for you today. Okay, so what I would love for you to do to wrap up this lesson, your thing that I want you to think about is simply to take some time now or later on the day to think about a vision for your creative practice. Okay, so what do you want to do with your artwork? Where do you want to sell your work? How much do you want to sell it for? Who do you want to impact with your work? What is the reason why you want to be an artist? What is the reason why you want to run an art business? And just really start to ask those really deep questions and get really clear about that. Because the clearer that you are about the vision that you have, the easier it's going to be for you, the more motivation it's going to give you, the more direction it's going to give you, and the more fluid and adaptive it's going to make you to move forward to build that creative practice of your dreams. Okay, if you have loved today's episode, I absolutely love to connect with you on Instagram. It's my favorite hangout place. So take a screenshot of today's episode, share it on the IG, and tag me in at Natalie Parker Studio. If you have any ideas of any topics that you would love for me to cover inside this podcast, send me a DM and let me know. Coming up next week, we have something very exciting for you on the show. I am going to be talking to you about when you can call yourself an artist. If you struggle to call yourself an artist and come out in hives at the thought of introducing yourself as an artist, then this show is absolutely for you. Until then, go and pursue your creative dreams and take care. Do you dream of having your own art business? Is 2022 going to be the year that you step out, go after your desires, and start to build the art biz you've been dreaming about for years? If you are, but you also have no idea how or where to start, then you're going to love this. On Jan the 20th, I'm kicking off a free training series for artists called the Art Biz Startup Series. In this 3-part training, you'll get clear about what you want for your business, you'll learn multiple ways to make money, and you'll learn my simple 3-step sales system that you can use over and over again to finally get those art sales coming in. So if you're ready to finally do what you love, to be fulfilled in your days, and to have the extra income for you and your family, then you're going to want to register for this free training today. Click the link to register in the show notes below. I can't wait to help you turn your art biz dream into a reality this year.